Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today we bring you some Lurk gameplay. I was looking back at the channel and I actually haven't done a video on Lurk since last summer. So it's been over half a year since we last did a Lurk video. And Lurk is actually a big part of the current meta because it does so well into a lot of these slow combo decks like Set Karma that just want to kind of stall out. Lurk doesn't let you do that. You have to deal with all these Lurk units because they're going to keep coming and coming after you, and each one is going to have like a bunch of power. So that's why Lurk does so well, and I think has a good position in the current meta. So I figured this is the best time to showcase it before the meta turns into an aggressive way to deal with Lurk again. If you like today's games coming up soon, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video where we do some mulligan tips and a more in-depth breakdown of how to play Lurk. In this matchup, we're going against Rusticles, who's playing Garen, Illaoi, and Jarvan. So, ooh, okay, Pyke on the Titan. We have our one drop here. Is it better to actually have multiple? No, I think I want to look for the predicts, right? Okay. I guess if we kept the Pyke, we could have call the pack, but we want to have the Pyke in our deck, so I don't think it's correct to keep him. We have the Sharkland. We have a second Sharkland, so we will have some decent blockers, right? We will have some decent blockers. We don't have any of our champions, though, so it's going to be whether we get our champions or not. The Hammer's not as nice. We have a lot of cards in our deck that can let us miss the Lurk. A lot of cards. Fortunately for us, we don't hit any of them. Like, this is a weird hand because we don't have any of our non-Lurk cards. And having none of our non-Lurk cards is a recipe for disaster. I am down to go all in. I think the Hammer Snout is better for Illaoi. I'm down to just go all in and put pressure. Because the opponent's going to have to block with this Brawler no matter what. The question is, do we guarantee the Lurk? We have to, right? We probably have to guarantee this Lurk. We have to guarantee this Lurk because it's too much of a punish if I miss it. And our chances of missing the Lurk are very high because, again, we haven't drawn a single one of our cards that don't have Lurk on them. Chronomancers, Forsaken Bakais, one Rather Negation, etc. One Ruthless Predator. The odds of us missing Lurk are a little bit too high for my taste right now. So I'm gonna guarantee the Lurk right there, even though it's gonna make my hand a lot more awkward, because now we're definitely not gonna go Pyke or Rek'Sai anytime soon. Oh, Chambers. Okay, I didn't think that they would play that, right? So he lets him kill the Hatchling. They still have the Badger Bear. Yeah, it will let them kill the Hatchling, which kind of sucks for us. We can play Under Titan. It's a big blocker. They still lose their Browin. I'm cool with this. Yeah, I think I'm cool with this. We take the 4. We don't want to block this and let the Jarvan potentially level up. We go 1 Hammers now, so that we can just pull that Badger Bear with our Under Titan and keep our other units alive. If the opponent commits Illaoi here, we can play the second Hammers now. Heavy Metal, okay. Alright, that kind of sucks. I still think the second Hammers now needs to wait. Let's see what card was it that we didn't go into. Okay, so we wouldn't have missed the Lurk. To be fair, we wouldn't have missed the Lurk, but he wasn't a champion either. So now our odds of missing Lurk are ever greater one more time. So one more time, there's a great chance of us missing Lurk. Let's see it. We hit it. We actually keep hitting it. They could have form up here. They could have the form up, which is kind of frustrating because, yeah, there you go. It will keep this guy alive, and I guess we can block it next time with the Sharkling, and that's okay. They'll be able to attack with the Garen. They could have Jarvan here, and if it's Jarvan, I'm sad. We finally get our Cersei collar. Okay. So we just go second under Titan. That gives me a blocker against the Garen. That doesn't die. Probably was better to just go Stonekeeper, but if the opponent has a second form up, we lose anyways. The opponent just ended up here. We can still block that Badger Bear, and whatever the opponent pulls with the Under Titan, we chill. Smartly doesn't even pull with the other units. I'm still blocking the other units anyways. We're probably gonna go Cersei Collar into hammers now. It's time that we try to predict into a champion. And I think the Sculpture is always the card that we kill. So that the opponent cannot get extra health. That could potentially make their units better blockers. If the opponent has a Judgment, I lose, but I don't think I can play around it. Of course. Let's go here. We miss, so we're gonna go as Chronomancer as well. If they have a Judgment, okay, they don't have a Judgment. If they have a Judgment, I will be very sad. Rek'Sai. Alright. So we go for the Rek'Sai. We have plenty of blockers. We can go here to kill the Garen. This card is gonna die regardless of what we do. Because he has the vulnerable on it. So he has the vulnerable, it's gonna die regardless of what we do. We beat another form up, and we have blockers for the rest of their units. So we go like this. I think we just play chill for now, because we're gonna go Doombreaker, and then we're gonna go Under Titan. So Garen goes bye-bye. We have blockers for their units. We can go Doombreaker. And then Under Titan together with the Rek'Sai, with the Rek'Sai on turn 9. And if we draw a 1-drop, we can play it right after. So we played this here.
Do as I say when I say it.
That's okay. I'll block with the Chronomancer. I don't really care. Now, a single combat kills the Rek'Sai. So a single combat will kill this Rek'Sai. But you also lose your Eldred at the same time. So your Eldred will lose to the Rek'Sai. I kind of like the idea of just playing Rek'Sai first. Okay, so this is huge, because that guarantees that I will hit the Lurk, right? This is why we played the Dawnkeeper last time instead of the Under Titan, so that we had that extra mana for a 1-drop. Whether it was a 1-drop that we got from the Rek'Sai level up, or just like this, a 1-drop from this. Opponent has access here to Tentacle Smash to kill the Rek'Sai.
For justice, for Demacia.
Okay. Probably should just attack, but I'm gonna greet this out. If you have a single combat, you have it. Alright. So everything here is gonna be 8. I guess technically not this. The only good trade that they have is Lord Eldred. But the Lord Eldred has to block the Rek'Sai. I need to put this last so that you get the spell shield. Yeah, that's one thing you need to watch out for. If you put the Rek'Sai here, it disactivates first. So you want to put it like this, by the way, so that this activates second. Rek'Sai goes here. She levels up because we know that we're gonna get a Hammers now. We have another Hammers now. We get to refill our hand. The only blocker for Rek'Sai. We also should put Rek'Sai first, by the way. We should put Rek'Sai first because the Eldred always has to be the one to block the Rek'Sai. So we missed some damage to the Nexus here by not having this after the Rek'Sai. So the Overwhelm always has to go after the Rek'Sai because the opponent has to block with the Eldred. Nothing else kills the Rek'Sai, and you definitely don't want to leave this Rek'Sai alive.
Beware the shoals.
Unless the opponent's just trying to win with tentacles.
Hold fast.
Yeah, you just block everything. We just trade the full board. I said that I still have 3 cards in my hand and another draw.
Show some respect.
And we actually have 10 mana to play out the whole hand because we're gonna have another Hammers now. Yeah, so if we have put the Doomkeeper after, we would have done 1 extra damage, and opponent will be a 4. Small misplay on my part because I was kind of busy telling you all about this interaction here, right? There we go, and then we get 3 here. So then next turn we have quite a bit of value. I guess we should have attacked with this, right? There's no reason to not attack with this, because opponent has to always block the other units. So that's another small misplay on my part. We should have attacked with everything, because if the opponent lets any of the other units stay alive, they just lose the game. Like if they don't block any of the other units, they just lose the game. Yeah, this is his game anyways, fortunately for us, but a couple of misplays on that attack that could have actually made the difference if this game was closer. But we just ended up having way more units than Rusticles, and that's all it was to us, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Nick, who's playing Samira Leona. The stuns just make me really, really sad. Like, really, really sad. They also have a 1-drop here that can block us, which is also very sad for us. Because they could just have, like, if they have the Solaris Soldier, this is never gonna get through anyway, so we're gonna start with the Hatchling. At least the Hatchling can dodge the Crimson Pigeon. Okay, we hit the Lurk. So at least the Hatchling can dodge the Crimson Pigeon, right? Opponent could have Samira here. And that would be a little bit unfortunate if it's exactly Samira, because we don't have a Hammers now to kill Samira. So the Samira will continue getting a lot of value through the whole game. These rallies are a little bit awkward in my hand. But could potentially allow me to sneak in at Rek'Sai level up. But without the Snapshot, it's also going to be hard. If it's not Samira, I'm fine. Okay. Let's go Sharkling then. We'll take the 3. So we'll take the 3 and then just play the Cersei Collar. I guess opponent could have the 2-drop here. They could have the 2-drop. Okay, it's just gonna be the stun, but that's okay. So the stun is fine because we can just push damage with the Fearsome. We hit the Rek'Sai as well. I mean, I predicted into it, Nick. I did predict into that Rek'Sai, Nick. Yeah, we still have a great blocker here. Crimson Pigeon. Okay, so they get the Crimson Pigeon. If for some reason the opponent plays Saboteur, I will rally, I think. Okay, so they're just gonna... I like the Cersei Collar. Yep, Cersei Collar, call the pack. Giving me the Rek'Sai back into my deck. And then we rally. I kind of don't want to lose this Fearsome though, but I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let's go like this. That keeps my unit alive. If they want to have the Pelt Cascade to kill it, that's okay. That's one Pelt Cascade down. Let's play around the Leona. Let's play around the Leona by just dropping this Rek'Sai back to our deck right away. Opponent's gonna have to take 7 damage if they don't wanna block. Opponent doesn't know that I have the second Rek'Sai in my hand either. So we can go like this and just push 7 damage. If they don't block, that's a lot of damage. They're tempted not to block, right? They're tempted not to block because they have Leona level up and they potentially have a Sunhawk. I'm gonna force him to have the Sunhawk, because if it's not a Sunhawk, we can still just survive here. I can also just have lethal with the Overwhelm. So I can also go here. Should have attacked the Sunhawk, by the way, not the Pigeon. I should attack the Sunhawk, not the Pigeon. So that's a misplay. So it had to be the Sunhawk because the Pigeon's gonna go to 3 HP. Yeah, Baboon. Baboon is a big deal. Let's go Doombreaker. Let's go Doombreaker here. The funny thing is that I guess he's still gonna stun Rek'Sai because Rek'Sai has the 6 health. It's a little bit unfortunate. So Rek'Sai has the 6 health, so it is gonna stun her. But I just have Rider Negation now. So I just win? I just win, right? We Rek'Sai, we Rider Negation, the stun doesn't matter. We have double Overwhelm. We're chilling. That was an amazing top deck. Because the Rider Negation does stop the skills, right? So I second that myself. I was like, it stops the skills, right? But it does, it does. We go here, we Rider Negation, we're cool. We have double Overwhelm. One of them is a Rek'Sai. We enabled it. We know we can hit the Lurk because we have second Rek'Sai for Call the Pack. We go like this. We go here. We chill. Right? I guess if we go here, it's probably better. That way this guy stays alive. Opponent has no way to kill this Doombreaker. Opponent has no way to kill Rek'Sai. Boom. They should have a way to survive this. And we even get a 1-drop. Even if they have a way to survive, we have the 1-drop right after to have another blocker that the opponent has to deal with. Now, this is a great draw for there, by the way. Like, if we didn't have that Rider Negation, we lose the game. Right? If we don't have that Rider Negation, we actually do lose the game. Because opponent had a way to stun a whole board and has a Baboon and a Leona. So, GG's. In this match, we're going against Aatrox Kayn. Can we go faster than they can get there? With this hand, absolutely. So we can send the Pyke back. We call the pack. Ooh. 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 What's the answer? What's the answer? He has to be Rek'Sai, right? Does he have to be Rek'Sai? I think he does. He just makes... Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough. It has to be Rek'Sai. It makes all our units so much stronger. Right? It makes all our units so much stronger so that we can trade with almost everything that the opponent has. Including the Pyke, right? The Pyke becomes a lot stronger this way. So we're able to trade with anything that the opponent has. Cultist, opponent just has a bunch of units. We can trade with this Forsaken Bakite. I think that's gonna have to be the play. Yeah, we can't trade with that one. An opponent just got a Kayn. So we can't trade with that one. Opponent chooses to not attack with their 3 power unit. We trade here because this one is always gonna get traded regardless. So that one is always gonna get traded regardless. Now I really need a Pyke, right? I need a Pyke here on this from this Cersei collar. I'm so good. I'm so good at this game. I'm so good at this game. Sure. Let's have you trade. Let's have you trade everything. I guess you could have momentous choice to save one of them. The spike is at 4, so it doesn't kill the Kayn just yet. But we do have a Bone Skewer to follow up right after, right? When it gives us the full trade, which works out for us. We will take quite a bit of damage from this Dark Control, but that's fine. We can play one of these cards here, and the opponent having their little Kayn is not gonna do anything to them. Sure. Gonna pass. Ranger Knight. Alright, alright. So we just spike, right? Before the opponent can put the Darking Spear on it. So this is to do it before the opponent puts the Darking Spear on it. They go for it, but I guess we do have the Pyke afterwards. Why did we just don't do anything? Like, why did we just block this? It's the same as sending this back, right? I guess the benefit is that we still have a Pyke on the top of our deck. Yeah, we still have another Pyke in our deck that we can play with. So the benefits here is that we have another Pyke on our deck that we can actually send back if we get another Rek'Sai, right? Let's go here. I lose to Momentous Choice, but the opponent only has 2 cards in their hand that we don't know about. Because one of them is a Kayn. If we draw another Rek'Sai eventually, it's going to be a lot of value. We can go under Doombreaker here. Because this is guaranteed to beat our Aatrox. Yeah, the spell shield was a little bit of a problem. Kind of sucks. That's okay. We'll block this. We'll push this one. You have the Kayn. The Kayn still kind of does nothing here. We have another Under Titan. We have Rek'Sai. Yeah, Kayn still does nothing here. He loses to both these units. That one doesn't even lose the. That one doesn't even beat the Under Titan. I will take it. Cool. So now we have 2 big units. We can play Rek'Sai next turn, giving this Overwhelm. Shadow Step. Okay, so they have 2 Kayns in their hand. They get to kill one of the Under Titans, and their little Kayn goes to 3 HP. I still think it's better to wait for the second Rek'Sai potentially here. So we can level up. We can actually level up Rek'Sai. The only downside, 3/8, is that we're 1 mana off from being able to also have the Pyke. Now, we also could just miss the Lurk here, and that would feel really sad. We hit the Lurk, which means that we are guaranteed to level up this Rek'Sai, unless the opponent has the Unforgiving Cold right after. Okay, so Rek'Sai levels up. Because the thing is that the Rek'Sai attack trigger happens no matter what. So we're gonna go ahead and put the Lurk down. You have to have a blocker here. If you don't, the Rek'Sai... Okay, it doesn't even have the Unforgiving Cold, and that's it. Yeah, the Rek'Sai attack triggers again, like the attack buff, so the Rek'Sai goes up to 10. So if you have the rally and you have a Rek'Sai that's at 7, you are actually able to level her up. The Rek'Sai attack buff is not like Lurk, where it only happens once per turn. Her attack buff happens every time that she gets to attack. So, GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Seraphine and Jack. So, Seraphine Jack gameplay. I like the Cersei collar. I like the Snapjaw for later on, of course. Pyke in our hand is not amazing. But if we get a second Pyke, it's not bad to have the Bone Skewer. Opponent has no way to beat the Sharkling on turn 1. Okay, well, that works. That works. That also works, right? So we go here. We send this back, unless we top deck a Rek'Sai. We didn't top deck a Rek'Sai, so we send the Pyke back. Start getting value here. We push 2. We Snapjaw Swarm next turn to push another Lurk potentially. Okay, there's the high note. That's cool. So we Snapjaw Swarm and also have access to the Sharkling. The Snapjaw Swarm doesn't lose to the Seraphine, and it should be anything that they summon except for like coral creatures. They summon nothing. So there we go. We just get another free Lurk trigger instead. So we get a free Lurk trigger instead. Okay, alright, so opponents should have no way to beat this, right? They see all my units. They're gonna potentially they're gonna pick the hammers now? No, okay, I'm gonna go Sharkling then. With 6 mana, they shouldn't have a way to beat this. We go Cersei Collar, we pick the Rek'Sai. They shouldn't have a way to clear all 3, right? That's my thought. My thought is like, do you have a way to clear all 3? You definitely don't. I'm attacking with everything here. Because if you want to block this one, that's okay with me. I'm going to be pushing 11 damage here. So if you want to block like this, I push 11 damage here. It makes it so that my next not just swarm can actually just kill your Jack as well. We have the Rek'Sai, we have the Pyke. We have a lot of value here.
I want to kill someone.
Okay. I'll block it. I'll block it because it's not just going to come through and just ruin your day. Cool. So now you have to commit a Mystic here. Oh, we hit another Rek'Sai. So we actually have 2 Rek'Sais. Huh. Now, there is one punish here. Double Caustic Rift kills my whole board. Opponent doesn't have it. Okay, so we played this. Next time we do have enough for Rek'Sai and Pyke. We gotta pretend that the double Caustic Rift is not real. Okay, so now that he only needs 1 Caustic Rift, right? There's one problem. You have to deal with both Rek'Sai and Pyke. And even if you deal with the first Rek'Sai, we have a second Rek'Sai that we can play right after. They might just come... Okay, so they're doing this so that they could have the... Yeah, they're doing this so that they could have the flow for the 2-mana Caustic Rift. So we play this Rek'Sai. And we can either choose to play second Rek'Sai, or we can choose to play Pyke. Opponent only has 3 mana left, so this sounds to me like a second Rek'Sai type of game. Even if they have a Caustic Rift, this still pushes the overwhelm damage, and that wins the game. And sometimes that's how Lurk goes. Sometimes you just hit multiple Rek'Sais just for the heck of it. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Nick, who's playing Samira and Leona. He does have the attack token on 1, which is a little bit awkward for us. I like the hammers now. I don't think I need double Shark Lane. Well, maybe we do. But I think I want to look for my predict cards, right? That's a great draw, right? That's a great 1-2 combo. Sure. You get the pigeon, that's cool. We'll have the Pyke. It is a little bit awkward because we're going to take a lot of damage next turn. We're going to take a lot of damage next turn, right? But we'll set up the Pyke for later. We have multiple Cersei Collars. We have multiple Hammer Snouts. This is not a good block for it. I might have to go Cersei Collar next turn. Okay. If he blocks like this, I don't have to go Cersei Collar. If he doesn't block this, I like the Cersei Collar so that we can block the pigeon and kill it. So this allows me to block the pigeon and kill it. If the opponent goes for Samira, I become a little bit more sad. Otherwise, I'm cool here, right? Okay, Sun Guardian, perfect. So now, like I said, we can actually block the pigeon and be okay. I'm gonna skip. I don't think I need any of this. Although, the Cersei Collars are not bad. Now, let's keep the Cersei Collar. The Cersei Collars are great blockers. I will trade here. The Sun Guardian, I will trade for the Sun Guardian. I will trade for the Sun Guardian every single day. He's such a good card. He's such a bigger card than what I will have to deal with, right? Let's go Cersei Collar one more time. We get the Rek'Sai. And now our Pyke is gonna start getting there.
My faith protects
A
me.
little bit unfortunate. I need to attack anyways, just because we need to get this Rek'Sai trigger. He's gonna get the trade. That's okay. Yeah, he's gonna get the trade. That's okay. We need to be able to trigger that Rek'Sai. It's too big not to. We have blockers. If the opponent has Leona, it's a little bit frustrating. But we do have this Death from Below. We do have these Death from Belows that I'm not too concerned about. Right? Let's say that the opponent drops Samira here.
Just an impression.
We go here. Let them challenge the Pyke if they want to. I'm okay taking the trade. I'm okay taking the trade. I just don't want him to get the quick attack trade. Right? So I'm okay taking the trade. Opponent can now trade with the Sunhawk, right? So they have to sacrifice one of their 3 power units here. And we always can block the Pigeon, so we only take 4 damage. And next turn we can go another Cersei Collar. We still have hammers now, etc, etc. Get a lot of value that way. Unfortunately, Leona is leveled up, so that is annoying, but that's cool. Ooh, okay, so that does keep the Pigeon alive, right? If you challenge the Pyke. Alright. I respect it. Except that I don't like attacking with everything else. I respect it except for the attack with everything else. Because I just block here. Because I can always get a favorable trade with this one, with one of my Cersei Collars. So it's not necessary. Let's start with the Forsaken Bakai. Making think that we don't have anything. We're gonna predict again, so it doesn't matter. There we go, Cersei Collar. That's the second Pyke. We go hammers now on the I like hammers out on this one. I don't think this guy is a big deal.
I have my orders.
Alright. We're gonna go on like this. I think I'm fine, right? If I attack like this and they block with the Pigeon, am I sad? Am I sad about that? I don't think so, right? If he wants to block with the Pigeon, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him blocking with the Pigeon. We have another Pyke, so we're never gonna be in threat of dying. We're never gonna be in threat of dying because opponent only has 1 card. We have 11 HP and we have a Pyke. We have enough mana for Cersei Collar plus the Pyke. Yeah, so we go Cersei Collar again. We go Call the Pack. Lets me send the Rek'Sai back and get some value. We go here. We go, I guess, here. Here. Pyke again. Yeah, sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, Nick. That's how Lurk goes sometimes. I feel bad because Nick is trying to get to rank 1, right? Nick has been rank 1, and I think I'm actually, like, that's my second win against him today. I think I'm actually keeping him from being rank 1. I'm rank 19, and Nick is rank 6. So literally my 2 losses, the 2 losses that he had versus us are actually keeping him from being able to go back to rank 1. I'm sorry, Nick. Nick may place rank 1 whenever he wants. GG's, Nick. Yeah, that's the game. In this matchup, we're going against Ashe LeBlanc. They are attacking on 1, which is fine with us because we ended up getting the Chronomancer. Shark or Hatchling? Hatchling with the Fearsome seems a little bit better. Because we can go Chronomancer and Hatchling with Fearsome to get some value. We ended up getting not great. Okay, this is a good drop. This is a good drop. This is a very good drop. Chronomancer on 2 is also amazing. If we get like a Rek'Sai here. Okay, wow. That second Chronomancer is good too. Pyke.
With the power of time,
The Pyke doesn't get beat by a freeze, which is what makes Pyke amazing here. We attack, and this is why the Fearsome is clutch, because the opponent cannot block the Fearsome. Cool. I would like to play the Snapjaw when I can guarantee the Lurk trigger, but I might just have to drop it as it is.
Sharpen the blade.
Alright, just drop it like this. Especially because the opponent doesn't have a good blocker for it. So this is pushing just 2 damage here. Even if the opponent blocks with the Omen Hook, that's cool with me. His Pyke is now at 3. We go for the Call the Pack, get it up to 4, or we could go Chronomancer first. See if we hit the Rek'Sai. Opponent can only really kill one of these units. And they have to commit an asset. They have to commit another card. Okay, they're just gonna straight up give me the Glory Seeker. Cool. I think it's always Chronomancer, guarantee the Lurk. Just continue getting this Pyke as big as possible. We have another Lurk trigger here. Is it important for us to guarantee this Lurk? I think so, right?
We're sure to save Icathia.
I think so. I think we always guarantee this Lurk trigger. We know that we can get the Call the Pack and Snapjaw to get another Lurk trigger next turn. And that's gonna get the Pyke all the way to 5 power. Opponent continues taking this chip damage from the Chronomancer. I guess because they're choosing not to... Let's say that they have a 5 power unit. And they play... Let's say they play Ashe right now. He loses to the Pyke. Right? I think there's nothing that we need to worry about. Okay, no, opponents just break. Never mind. This game is over. Never mind. I thought this game was like competitive, but opponent just showed us that they literally have nothing, like absolutely nothing in their hand that can actually do anything to us. Because what we can do is that we can go Snapjaw Swarm again. Yeah, cool. We're gonna go Hammers now. If you want to commit a freeze here, I'm cool with that. Okay? I mean, that's one less health pot I have to worry about later, right? Because we're going to go here. We're going to go Sharkling. We're still going to pull with the second Chronomancer. And we're fine. And we still have the Spike that we haven't even played yet. I will open because I don't want to get punished by the Icebell Archer. Or the opponent having another unit. So we go here. These are all 5 power units. So we're not even losing to like a Reckoning anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry, opponent. Your hand was horrible. Your hand was horrible, and I could see that. I could see that from a mile away when you pass on turn 4. So, GG's. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those Lurk games. You know, they go pretty fast. It is a lot more thoughtful than people realize, right? It's not like you can just close your eyes and just play Lurk and just pick whatever card and just attack. It does take some strategies. The predicts, right? Understanding what to predict in each situation is a skill on its own. It's also the same skill that separates like good Ecosilian players versus bad Ecosilian players. Because knowing what card to predict when necessary is a big deal. Heck, even when you're faced with the choice of do I send Pyke or do I send Rek'Sai back if I have a Call the Pack and I have both champions in my hand? That's still a skill expression that's going to be dependent on the matchup and on the game state. So I do like Lurk, and it's actually, I think I actually have pretty high mastery with Pyke and Rek'Sai because I did play, yeah, I do, right? Rek'Sai 33, Pyke 28. I did play a lot of Lurk when Lurk first came out because I do think it's actually a pretty fun deck to play and a little bit more skill expressive than people actually give it credit for. Now, with this deck list, it's pretty straightforward, right? We do play 3, 5, 6, 7 cards that are non-Lurk cards. Anything else more than that, I'd be afraid of, because then you have the possibility of just missing Lurk when you don't get to predict for a Lurk card to be in top of your deck. Heck, even 7 is a little bit risky, but the reason why this 7 cards make sense is because 5 of those, Forsaken Bakai and Aspiring Chronomancer, are predict cards. So these 5 cards allow us to actually try to predict our Pyke or our Rek'Sai to the top of our deck. The Lurk games become a lot easier when you get at least one of your champions on the top of your deck, and having this additional predicts lets us do exactly that with this deck. The other 2 cards, Ruthless Predator and Vital Negation, you saw how Vital Negation can save games, especially against all those Leona games, Leona players running around. It can be really clutch, or even to deny a vengeance when someone wants to be able to deal with your Rek'Sai. The best time to do Vital Negation is when you can play a Rek'Sai and negate the wait for the opponent to actually deal with your Rek'Sai being able to level up, as we saw against Nick in that game with Leona Samira. Ruthless Predator also combines with Rek'Sai to be able to give the last 2 set of power that she needs to be able to level up, right? So that is why I do like the one Ruthless Predator, and can potentially also let us pull an important card from the opponent, whether it's like a Fist, something that usually you cannot target, but with the vulnerable you're able to actually target it, or even something like Samira, etc. That the opponent doesn't want to lose, letting us get some very favorable trades. So that does it for the non-Lurk cards. In terms of the Lurk cards, we pretty much playing everything in the game that has the archetype Lurk in it, right? So you do have your 1-drops, the Sharkling, the Hatchling. You always want to start with a 1-drop almost in every game, especially if you have the attack token on 1. If you have the attack token on 1 and you don't see a 1-drop in your hand, just mulligan your whole hand because you want to hit that Lurk trigger right away on turn 1. So you need to have that 1-drop on turn 1. That's why we play the triple Hatchling, and triple Sharkling. These two also are going to get really out of control really quickly. They are easy to remove, but the opponent's still going to have to commit removal to them, and they can still take pretty good trades. Then we have the Hammers now. Hammers now is also like an MVP of this deck, giving vulnerable to a lot of the opponent's units, allowing us to get very favorable trades with some of the other units. The Snapshot Swarm is amazing, allowing us to have like a Lurk trigger on the opponent's attack turn, which is usually doesn't happen often. This will allow us to be able to raise the power level of our Lurk cards higher and higher as the game goes on. Cersei Collar is kind of similar to the Bakai and the Chronomancer. It's a predict card, but the fact that he also has 3 health makes her a really good blocker against a lot of the opponent's potential chump blockers. And then we have our big finishers here. We have the Cersei, the Under Titan, and the Cersei Doombreaker. These two Overwhelm units, obviously the Under Titan needs to get a lot of Lurk to be able to get the Overwhelm, but once he does, these two Overwhelm units can allow you to finish the game. I also like the Under Titan. Even when she doesn't have Overwhelm, she does have 6 health, right? So it's very easy for us to have this Under Titan be like a 5/6 or a 6/6 that the opponent cannot really attack into, because not a lot of things have 6 power to be able to actually trade into the Under Titan effectively. Then we have the spells. Call the Pack is a clutch card in this deck because you really want to see the Pyke and the Rek'Sai on the top of your deck every single time, right? That you don't want to see them in your hand. So Call the Pack allows you to actually send those champions back to the top of your deck, getting advantage of their abilities, while at the same time also refilling your hand with 2 Lurk cards, right? So even though you're doing -2 to yourself because you're sending back a unit to the top of your deck and using the Call the Pack, you end up coming out even because you get 2 random units in your hand, and that's not even to talk about the effect that you have if you put a Rek'Sai or a Pyke on top of your deck. Then we do have the Blood in the Water, and this rally is amazing because the rally could allow us to push lethal without overwhelms, or in certain situations it could allow us to level up Rek'Sai. Let's say that you have a Rek'Sai that's 7 power in your attack token. You can play the Rek'Sai, attack with her, get her to 9 power if you hit the Lurk trigger, right? And then you rally, and when you attack with Rek'Sai again, she will push for 10 damage and level up, because her ability is whenever she attacks, right? So not just when she lurks, but also when she attacks. So unlike Lurk triggers, the Rek'Sai ability can trigger multiple times in a single turn. And then lastly, of course, we come to our 2 champions. Rek'Sai is a way that you can finish a lot of games because of the Overwhelm. It's really, once you can level up Rek'Sai and drop her down, a lot of opponents just surrender. There's nothing that they can do. She's literally your main big game finisher, and also the way that you get to stack up your lurkers to be a lot more powerful, right? So you want to make sure that when you drop the Rek'Sai, you have a way to protect it, whether it's Battle Negation or waiting until the opponent taps out of answers, so just having 2 Rek'Sais in your hand. And then Pyke. Pyke is great, but I do think he's a little bit weaker than Rek'Sai and a little bit less important. But Pyke can be really good at allowing you to be able to defend against the opponent aggression and be able to kind of kill some of their units in certain key situations. Unfortunately, again, I do think Rek'Sai is slightly better, especially after the Pyke nerf that he lost 1 power. It can make it a little bit awkward. You're really going to need a lot of Lurk cards to be able to actually level up the Pyke in any game, right? So, yeah. That's kind of like the breakdown of the deck. Really, the way that you play it is how you saw in a lot of games. You just go for your small 1-drops, your predict cards, and just get as many lurkers as you can. Just kind of play units on curve. Eventually play the Under Titan and the Doomkeeper. And usually you're playing your Rek'Sai on turn 7 or 8 once she has 7 or 8 or 9 power, so that you can actually push through and level her up. The Pyke just ends up becoming like your utility tool that you can actually use to survive and get rid of the opponent's key units. This actually ended up being a lot longer in-depth breakdown than I thought, and that's because, again, I do think that Lurk has a lot more skill expression than people realize. People just need to learn how to play it correctly and know when to take centered trades, know what to predict into, etc., etc. Sometimes you will just completely low roll and miss Lurk, and that happens. Sometimes you're gonna just high roll and hit Rek'Sai on top of your deck without predicting, and that also happens. It is gonna be it is going to be a gamble when you are playing this deck, but I think the deck is in a current position where you have a lot of favorable matchups that most of the gambles are going to come more in your favor than not in your favor, and that's why I think I recommend playing Lurk. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. If you enjoyed today's deck, games, and breakdown, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post Illaoi videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch.tv. We stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. This is my fifth video recording of the day, because I am going to be leaving to a work trip tomorrow, so my apologies if my voice sounded a little bit weird, or if I made any obvious misplace, it's because my brain is mush. So yeah, hope you enjoy your day, and I'll see you actually tomorrow, because actually when you watch this video, it's going to be Sunday night, and I'm going to be flying back from work on Monday, so I'll be able to make a video for Monday night. So enjoy your day, and have a good one.